Hi guys, Nigel here from FCD Ghost Boxes. Just going to do a short video again. Every so often I have to keep replying to people who send me questions after purchasing the small FCD handheld radio hacked ghost box that we sell. Some of them, even though I put a video on the sales page, on the website, on Etsy where we sell these, showing exactly how it works, we're still getting some ITC Ghost Box builders who, I'm not going to mention who they are, okay, but I'm going to just state that they're the ones that seem to be just trying to slate this off all the time, trying to say that basically because it sweeps slowly, it's a medium sweep actually, but they want to exaggerate that and say slowly, because it sweeps at a medium rate and stops on radio stations for a second and then moves on to the next one, that it's not working the same as a ghost box and it's no good for actual ITC research. Now this, as they know very clearly, works exactly the same as any other ghost box. From the beginnings of time with Sumption, who invented the very first of the ghost boxes in America, to Huff Paranormal, who run similar radio devices through various other amps and effects to get a different sound. They all know that the source of the actual transmission does not come directly from spirit. It is impossible for that to happen as we are now. Remember, spirits don't have physical vocal cords. They have no use for wave bands that, as we know them in the physical world. They have energy about them. That's what spirits are, energy. And they can project that energy to influence physical objects and physical electrical wave forms, as we find in radio waves. Now, does this mean that if it's radio that's coming through these ghost boxes that we're conning people? No, it doesn't. It means that we've got a device, and it can be any sort of device. I've had to explain this so many times, and it's so obvious. And so, I don't know why these other ITC builders pretend that this isn't the case. They know that radio, terrestrial radio, is coming through these ghost boxes. No matter it's this one, and then the other ghost boxes that we build, or anybody else's. Why do you think they need a radio, which you'll find in every single ghost box, within the ghost box they build, if it doesn't need a radio reception? Why does it have one in there? Has anybody asked that question yet? Well, the simple answer is that what you hear coming out of the speaker is radio, is snippets of radio broadcasts from lots of different sources. It can be FM, AM, local radio, university radio networks, it can be ham radio you might want to pick up. There are various terrestrial sources, and that is what you'll get through. Now, I wouldn't be in this if I just thought, well, yeah, I know it's that, and I'm making ghost boxes, and I won't tell them that, the customers. I'll just say that this is going to pick up spirits and you're going to hear them. It isn't the case. I'm going to be honest. And it's time ITC and the ghost box community of builders manned up and told the truth. Because people aren't stupid. People know how to research, and if you do a little bit of research on this, you'll find out the truth. I've been hammered lately because of telling the truth, basically. Because they want to keep the air of mystery around what ghost boxes are. And they want to project this false narrative that you will be able to communicate directly with spirits using a ghost box. And when I say ghost box, I bring into that spirit, another term for it is a spirit box. So don't let anybody try and con you again by saying, oh, But ours is a spirit box. That's different. It's not. It's exactly the same. You ask the question: has your ghost box got a radio inside it? Okay, ask them that. But if it hasn't, it won't work at all. Okay, so the big question is then, I've just said, I mean, I'm not going to con anybody into saying that you're going to talk to spirits directly, but I still make, design and create ghost boxes to sell to people who want to try to communicate with the spirit world. Put that down a second, my throat's getting a little bit drier. And how do we do that? Well, already we know that we can use physical terrestrial devices and tools that we've been using for hundreds of years to communicate with the spirit world. We have to, but the main factor in all of these tools, and by tools I mean things like Ouija boards, the planchets, Ouija boards, dowsing instruments, REM pods, even. Lots of other devices, kinetic devices. The main ingredient to make those work to the best of our ability, so that we do get good, valid results come through from the spirit world, is to have a good connection between the person operating the tool. This is the same in anything in life, isn't it? If you've got a tool and you don't know how to use it, how do you expect it to create, to work well? So you've got to be able to actually communicate yourself well through intention with that particular tool, whether it be a ghost box or anything else. And you will then get better results, because in the spirit world, they are aware of your intentions, believe you me. People that tend to get negative things come through to them have got the wrong intentions. They attract like attracts like, basically. So you go with good intentions and sincere intentions using any of these tools, and eventually you will get, remember, you've got to put a bit of hard work into it, it doesn't happen overnight, but you'll get some good results come through. It's your attitude, basically. And already these ghost box builders, they're conning people, some of them. I'm not going to say all of them are. Some are very sincere and some are decent people. But there's some that should be ashamed of themselves, frankly. And they're the ones going around attacking people like me for telling the truth. You can attack me till the day I die, I'll still tell the truth, because it's important. And the spirit world knows this. And that's why we get results. Now the thing is, at the end of the day, you use these tools and you have to be a conduit between the tool and the spirit world. We'll call it spirit of a person who is trying to communicate with you and knows that you are using that tool. It doesn't mean that the spirit's going to come down and move the glass around on a Ouija board, does it? It means that, it's been scientifically proven. Why are we still going round and round in circles in the paranormal community, deciding whether the glass is being moved by the people in the circle or spirits? We know it's the people. We know with dowsing pendulums that there are very fine, you can hardly measure them, twitches of muscle movements, nerve movements even, within the arm and hand that move the pendulum, but subconsciously. We don't even know they're that subtle, that we are doing it. We're not lying. Of course, you could pretend to do it and move it, okay? That would be a conscious way of cheating. But if you go with the right intention and you don't want to cheat and you want to hold it steady, the pendulum I'm talking about now, for example, and believe that spirit will influence it, well then you're going to get spirit influencing you to move it, because they can work with your energy much better than they can with that inanimate object that has dense energy compared to your human energy. Remember, they were once humans like you. Well, they are humans, but they were physical like you. They understand the human energy and the way that it is projected. They can align with that. They don't align with the tool first. Okay, so it's the same with the ghost boxes. It doesn't matter whether it runs quiet for half an hour, because we use a thing in this called DSP, digital sound processing, in that it cuts out all that static that everybody believes, because the illusion's been built up by these ghost box builders, in that the static that's running between the sounds that you hear, which is only a carrier. Okay, it's only a carrier. It's nothing else. It's not coming from the spirit world. It's not some spooky sound out there that you're picking up. It's a carrier, right? It's actually made from static electricity. It's a carrier, that's all. And what it's doing is bringing forward the radio that we all hear every day. But when you create a ghost box, what you do is you put in a wave generator into the ghost box to stop it from staying tuned to the same frequency, the same radio station, for millionths of a second to 2 seconds to half an hour if you want. It doesn't matter. That's why we've got these on the FCD Ghost Boxes, variable sweep rates, that you can have it as long as you want. You can have it proper radio all the time if you want. Okay, it doesn't matter. Or you can have it so you can hardly hear anything at all, going so fast, changing so fast that you can't really pick up any words at all. Now, as I said, it's not a con, because spirit is totally aware of your intention with the tool. And I'll prove it to you in a minute. This little video clip I'm going to play to you to show you that when the people say, well, they don't work because they're quiet, and then they stop on something for a second or two, it doesn't work like that. It has to be fast, it has to be mysterious, it has to have all these, static in the background, because spirit need that to talk to you. It's rubbish, absolute rubbish, and they know it. They know it. They hate me for this, but it's the truth, and if they told the truth, they'd get more success. Okay, so I'm going to play you a little clip in a minute which proves, and you'll see, that this radio works perfectly. Perfectly, if you've got the right intentions, as any other ghost box out there. Watch this. If anyone likes to communicate, because we have the silence between, picking up the radio stations, and this is what the people don't like, but at least you're getting the clear messages coming through. Hello, is anybody there? Hello.
We're in the dark.
You're in the dark. Okay, hope you got that. Questions were asked, just like in any other tool, but it's a Ouija board, a dowsing pendulum, even a clairvoyant asking the question, right? The responses were very significant, and they came through at the right time, but they're only coming from radio stations, and you're being influenced by spirit to recognize what is being said there and to interpret it in the correct way. Sometimes we sit and listen to ghost boxes and all sorts of sounds come through, bits of music come through, but when you get certain well-known ghost box builders who plug in lots of devices, they've got the radio source that they're picking up from the terrestrial wave band, and they plug all sorts of effects, electrical effects into them. By the time they're finished, it sounds nothing like what was first coming through from the radio station. It sounds almost like ghostly and ethereal, and there's lots of booms and noises in there and things. But when you know a little bit about electronic wizardry, it's easy to do that. That's not proving anything. It's not proving it's coming from the spirit world. All they're doing is providing you with sounds. Now the spirits might like to work with that, who knows? They may love them effects. We don't know. But that doesn't matter. The problem I've got is that people just won't educate themselves whether they're buying one of these as a customer or whether another ITC Ghost Box builder, and think that they're being clever by saying that doesn't work because it doesn't sweep fast enough, it stays on the stations, it doesn't bring through any evidence. They're talking rubbish. Okay, well, I hope that helps everybody. We sell lots of these. They're available on Etsy and our FCD website. We sell loads of these. And have a look at the reviews. That's the best thing. Don't listen to these other ITC builders. They're just talking. They're talking like that because they feel they need to keep an air of mystery about how ghost boxes work. And I think it's because they think they can sell more then. If people don't know how they work and suddenly a weird sound comes through, well, you know, they need that strangeness. I mean, I put reverb onto my Mark IV Plus Adjust Ghost Boxes because I know people like to hear that little bit of echo, and actually it delays the sound a little bit as well, so that spirit can work with you and you're still listening to it while that is going on. There's nothing wrong in that. But when you get to a point where you won't explain what's really happening, then we're on really dodgy ground, guys. You need to be honest. People aren't daft. They can look inside a ghost box. There's one particular ghost box builder out, I'm not going to say the name at the moment, and he's selling on Etsy. And he's showing you inside one of his ghost boxes he's built that's for sale. And it's got a radio in there. An FM radio from any radio you could buy. And that is basically, why is it in there? People ask the question, why is there a radio in there if it's not picking up radio? Okay, nice to talk to you all again. Like I say, we sell these on Etsy. Look at the reviews. Look what people that bought these and they've tried them and what sort of results. Like you saw in the video earlier, a demo, what you can get with them. Don't be negative about it. It's an affordable, I think it was something about 20 odd quid. It's an affordable way of having a ghost box instead of hundreds of pounds that are gonna do the same thing, right? But just use more expensive equipment around them. That is ridiculous. I've had some fantastic results using this ghost box, and so many people that I know. Look it up. Look up on FCD YouTube channel at the people that have used this particular ghost box, and you'll see they get results because of one thing that these ITC builders are not taking on board, and that's that the human interface. We are essential in all of this, and you've got to have the right intentions. You've got to work with spirit with honesty. Okay? And the ICT builders should be telling you that. All the best. Bye.